If you're just starting out with Japanese, you might feel a bit intimidated by the idea of reading Japanese novels. But don't worry, I'm here to help. In today's video, I will show you why diving into Japanese books is actually one of the best ways to mastering the language. And I will also share practical tips for approaching Japanese novels, whether you are a beginner or already on your way. So let's go! Sorry, I'm still not using this one. Reading is one of my favorite hobbies, and I genuinely think that Japanese literature is one of the best sources that you can use for learning Japanese, even from day one. So first of all, I want to talk about why you should learn Japanese from books, and after that, I will suggest a progression order that you can follow even as a beginner, and as you learn more Japanese, how you can go from not understanding anything that's written in here to being able to actually read the pages. There are some notorious differences that make Japanese books a good source for learning when compared to manga. I'm not saying my manga is also good, but this video is about books. So books, as you can see here, have no visual aids, so you have to rely completely on your Japanese ability to be able to read it. Decide. So yeah, while it's true that books are more difficult to read than manga, it's also true that there are some kind of words that are more easily encountered in books when compared to manga. For example, we have a higher chance of coming across descriptive words, and I thought about some examples for this video. Seicho Nakawa. Like, this word can be used to describe a very pure and clear river, or also Uso to shita mori. Uso to shita mori can be used to describe a gloomy and dark forest. No, it's not gloomy and dark, it's gloomy and dense, a dense forest. Or you can also learn a lot of verbs related to body movements and gestures, such as shagamu and unazuku. And there's something else. Since a book has way more words than manga, then you have way more chances of coming across interesting words. And you know, in Japanese, a lot of, for me at least, the interesting words are words in kanji. And words in kanji, when compared with words in other languages like English, for example, they tend to stand out. So if you see a word in a book that you don't know, but you just skip it, and then you see the word again, because it's written in kanji, there is a chance that, oh my god, I think this word is important, and you want to check it again. Let's see this book. This book, by the way, is called Yakoka Nansha by Minato Kanae. Anyway, random page here, really. I open on page 148. Let's see some word using some kanji that might appear again. I don't know. Koen. Koen, can you see that? Koen, koen. I don't know if you can see or not. But yeah, I'll show you on the screen some more. Even on the same page, I can see that it shows koen one more time here. By seeing this, you probably understand, oh, I should learn this word. Anyway, that's why you should read books. I think do you get the message? I'm not sure if my message came across. I'm just looking at the book thousands of times, but of course there are stories that have been published only in Japanese by Japanese authors, not published in any other language, and therefore if you want to be able to know what they have to say, if you want to be able to enjoy their stories, you have to learn how to read Japanese novels. That alone is enough reason to want to be able to learn how to read this, right? I know what you might be thinking, like, but I'm totally beginner, I just started to see this video because I'm thinking of studying Japanese. Now, even if I have a book, how can I learn from it? And you know, there's this website called, it was a website, it doesn't exist anymore, that was called All Japanese All the Time. When I started learning Japanese, there was something that the guy running the site Kazumoto. You know, there's something that he wrote in a post that I think it's something like this. I'm not sure if it exactly this that he has said or written, but it is, you don't like Japanese books because you're bad at Japanese. You're bad at Japanese because you like Japanese books. And you know, it made totally sense to me. Because I thought, oh yeah, like, how can I be good at Japanese if I don't have anything to read in Japanese? And that includes not only books, that's true not only for books, but for anything else. It's just that books is something physical that you can have, and you can have this as a goal. Like, you know, I'm learning Japanese and someday I want to be able to read this. Now at that time it made me realize, and I still think so by this day, that just having this with you will help you immensely. Will help you a lot. But anyway, as a total beginner, as you can imagine, you cannot understand anything. So let me suggest you a progression order that you can try to follow in order to go from I cannot read anything on this book to, oh, I can read the book. So the first thing, imagine you're a total beginner, you still don't know even hiragana and katakana, you don't know the kana, and so what do? Well, you learn some of them. And the first one you learn is the a, I, U, E, O. And now you can do, again, you have a book, right? The first thing you should do is have a book. And I say a physical book. Yeah, if you only have the book on Kindle or any reader, that's fine. But yeah, preferably a real book. And then you open, let's try a game. Open on a random page and open page 110. And try to find those hiragana that you just learned, a, I, U, E, O. Let me try to find how many a and is I can find in this page, only this page. I finished. And I counted a total of 22, or was it 21? Is. Like this one. Can you see? Can you see? Ooh, I don't know if you can see or not. But I found 0 A's. What can you infer from these results? You can infer that I say A, but I mean A, sorry. A, U, E, O, right? So the A and the E. It's not English. But anyway, you can infer that E is used a lot, especially because 2 E's means E, good. So you see it all the time, while A is not really used. I can try to, I have to go through a lot of pages to find only one I here. You know, that's something you learn just by doing that. You don't think so? Okay, I understand that you're not reading the book yet. You're just interacting with it. And interacting with the book already feels good, I think. Imagine you, up to now, you were not able to do anything with it, and now you can start interacting with it. It's the first step. You cannot understand the contents yet, but that's something for, yeah, you have to give it a few months, I think. Okay, the next step in the progression. Oh, now I don't know how each person approaches kanji. Like, my favorite method is the remembering the kanji method. I talked about it in my other videos, which I know are not very good, but yeah, whether you are studying through that approach or any other approach, you're probably learning kanji somehow. And if you're learning through remembering the kanji, what you can do is try to find the kanji that you have learned so far. For example, wow, there are some very simple kanji here. The kanji for tei, and the kanji for like inside, hi and naka. Although here they are not read as in hi or naka, it's nichu. Anyway, and you already progress from just identifying hiragana or katakana in the book through chu, identifying kanji. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, Now, what is the next thing, the progression order? Is of course trying to read something. You are learning Japanese, so it means that you are probably using some textbook or you are immersing yourself, and anyway you must be learning something. The book is still too difficult for you to read, but you can try to find easy sentences within the book. And from these easy sentences you can learn a new vocabulary that you don't know, right? Again, you're still not trying to read the book, you're just trying to interact with it and find something, learn something from it before you actually understand everything. So I will open the book in a random page again. 280. You know, you might be a little bit worried. Oh no, if I open at page 280 and I still haven't read the book, I'm gonna read spoilers. I don't want that. But just remember that you probably cannot even read what's written here if you're a beginner. So yeah, if you're reading a mystery novel, this page might have the identity of the murderer. But yeah, probably not. Back to topic, sorry. Let me find a very simple sentence that if you are still a beginner Japanese, you can probably understand. I found this one. Mayumi. Mayumi is the name of one of the characters of the book. The problem with this sentence is that Mayumi, maybe you cannot read Mayumi. But yeah, that's some, I mean, you probably understand this is a name, especially if you check on the dictionary. As I said, you can use the very simple sentence to learn new vocabulary from that. Mayumi wa libingu ni modotta. See? Mayumi wa libingu ni modotta. So Mayumi, this character, goes back to the living room. Living room, very easy, right? Libingu. And modotta is modoru. Not means is modoru. Comes from modoru, which means to return, to come back. So she was somewhere else and she went back to the living room. Mayumi wa libingu ni modotta. Modotta is the past tense of modoru. And you see, now you can try to find other sentences like this in the book. Yeah, don't read it yet. Just try to find these simple sentences. Of course, if you want, oh, I found this sentence, I want to know more about, like, what does it mean? What does this structure mean? What this verb conjugation means? Yeah, by all means, try to find about that. But at this stage, if it's too hard, just try to find these easy sentences. Now, what is the next step? What is the next step in the progress, you think? Yes, finally, it's time to read the book. How do you approach that? You know, with Japanese it was also like that. But there was a time when I was learning Mandarin Chinese. I still want to go back to it, but I have stopped, unfortunately. And I was trying to read a book. I was trying to read Animal Farm, traditional Chinese. And it was so exhausting. You know, but yeah, I'm talking about Japanese here. Read 1 page per day. No more than that in the beginning. Right, this book here has 300 and so pages. 331 pages. Which means if you read 1 page per day, it will take 331 days, almost 1 year for you to finish the book. But hey, even if it takes 1 year, that's something. For the first day, month, you read 1 page per day, but you become quicker day by day, I think, on your Japanese reading. And suppose you start to read 2 pages per day. In the end, you will finish the book in half that time. Oh, wow, I'm so good at math. But yeah, read one book. That would be awesome, right? Read 1 book per day. Read 1 page per day. And when you feel very tired, because you will, my experience, at least for me, at the beginning, I had headaches from reading the books. Literal headaches. Might happen to you as well, so be patient with yourself. But there will come a time when you can start reading, and of course, there are so many things to read from it, to learn from each page, and you don't have to learn everything. Skip some things, because the reading flow is more important than understanding everything, because some words are they're not filler words. Every word is probably important, but they're just to give more richer, to enrich. Yeah, that's what I want to say, to enrich the story. But even without them, you can still understand what the author means. Well, I'm not reading the book here. I'm not even allowed to do that, I think. But see, this is how the book works. Now it's time to read the book. So this is the first page of the book. 午後7時40分。どうしてこんなことになってしまったのだろう。目の前には少女が一人。彩香と名付けたのは遠藤真由美だった。真由美さん。Anyway, I'm reading up to here. Was it difficult? I don't think it's that difficult. If you know the kanji, of course. It starts with 午後7時40分. 午後 p.m. afternoon. 7時 7. 40分 40 minutes. 7 hours 40 minutes. So 1940. どうしてこんなことになってしまったのだろう? Well, what you need to, maybe what you don't know from these is like this shimatta. And you check what the shimao means. You know what I mean, right? You just check the shimao grammar thing, and then you understand this better. And then you go on, 目の前には少女が一人. 目の前 in front of me, right? 少女 is like a girl. There's one girl in front of me. And so on. And the story progresses from here. And you see you're starting reading the book. Of course, if this is that I just read is too difficult, it means that you still haven't reached this stage yet. You're not supposed to be reading the book, just interacting with it in other ways. I mean, that's the message that I want to share with you today. But finally, to finish, if you read one of these books, and it takes almost 1 year after you start reading, and then you start to read your second book, it will be easier than your first book, and then the third will be even easier, and so on. And then when you see, you can read any book you want. And by the way, if you can read this book from start to finish and you don't think it's very difficult, you're ready. Congratulations, you're ready for the JLPTN1. It will probably not be so difficult for you. Sure, just improve your listening, because you're not doing any listening through here. Remember that the ultimate goal is to be able to enjoy the book and not to just see it as a learning material, even if at the beginning you use it as learning material. Okay? Right after I record this video, I'm going to Book Off, where they sell used books, to find some more to read. And I learn a lot. I've been learning Japanese for so many years, but even this book, I open the first page and I find vocabulary that I don't know. It's a never-ending journey, as they say. And yeah, I want to talk about that in videos in the future. So if you want to learn Japanese with me, and when I say with me, it does not mean that I'm teaching you, I'm actually learning as well, then stay tuned for more next week. Something else? Oh yeah, if you like this video, watch the other ones. I hope this one is better than the other ones. I don't know. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you thought it was nice, and if you want to learn Japanese from books together with me. What else? And let's read Japanese together. Okay, bye bye.